So as they say, well done is always better than well said. And in the start of this particular episode of SuperGrads YouTube channel, well done, Gayathri. Gayathri is part of this particular interview where we're going to talk about her success journey. So in the last few episodes, we saw that there were students who actually took drop and actually made it big. There were some of the other students who really, faced troubles in the beginning, could not make into IIM Rohtak, and finally made into IIM Indore. We have one such super grad student with us, Gayathri, and Gayathri has also made big into the big IIM Indore. So today we're going to explore the journey which she exactly went through that point of time. Gayathri, how was the feeling on the result day? First of all, explain that to our audience.
Sir, it was surreal. It was not something I was expecting. But the minute I came to know that the results had come out, I quickly checked my mail. I didn't tell my parents because I was scared. But once they came to know, sir, it was surreal.
And so the word surreal tells you a lot that, you are into dreams and perhaps you are unable to figure out what exactly has happened. And that's the level of ecstasy an individual is having once he get inside the huge IIM Indore. And certainly, Gayathri, we have had many interview sessions before that. We have had an interaction in and around what you should be doing, what you should. I remember, one day when we were interacting, there were heavy rains, right? If you remember that particular day,
Yes,
there were heavy rains. Yeah. So there were heavy rains, and we were just praying that her rain. She's living in Kerala. Let me tell you guys, and Kerala में बहुत rains थी, network issues थे, and जिस time पे उसका interview हो रहा था, उससे एक दो दिन पहले ही, and वो network आ रहा था, जा रहा था, and I was praying that should not happen on the final day because she had prepared so well. But that's just part of the journey. Now let's start with the beginning first, Gayathri, because it was the moment when you cleared IPM Aptitude Test, then you became part of IIM Indore for the IPM program. So let me ask you this first question. Was mathematics tough for you, or were you a math student from the beginning?
Yes, sir. So I'm actually a PCM student, and maths is one of my favorite subjects.
Okay.
So it was something I was better at compared to other subjects. So math wasn't something I struggled with, but it took practice to get to the level for the exam.
Okay. So what was your strategy around mathematics? So, we have had students who were not good at mathematics and they couldn't make into Indore. Gayathri is once a student who is good at mathematics already. So what was your strategy? Because, to capitalize on something that you are already good at is the best way you can do the things. So what was your strategy? How were you studying the last 2 months for getting inside IIM Indore?
Sir, since I was a PCM student, my NCRT math was okay. But this is a level higher, and there are a few topics which we haven't learned in our 11th and 12th. So for that, I did a few other books, along with which I was also preparing for a few engineering exams. So together, the math helped me for this.
Okay, understood, Gayathri. And the big problem for such students, because there is a category of student that is good at mathematics, is usually the English part of it. And this time, it was a huge shock for many of the students when the score went to 112. I personally know some of the kids who have scored more than 250 marks but could not make into IIM Indore just because English cutoff went to 112, and nobody could guess it before this. Okay, so on the same grounds, how did you prepare for English, and was it tough for you? I mean, what all routes did you exactly adopt for adapting to English that point of time?
Yes, sir. So something I started just for this is I started reading The Hindu, and I used to look up the words I didn't know and try to learn them.
Okay.
And I really like reading, so I would suggest make it a habit to actually improve your vocabulary. And the day before the exam, I went through my 10th standard grammar textbook just to go through the basics, sir.
So, I mean, perhaps we are interviewing someone who was good at mathematics and English as well, because, she's an avid reader, she's saying, and, that habit she did not leave. Yeah. Want to say something?
Yes, sir. So, but I'm not very good at English, actually.
You are not good at English. Okay. No. Okay. So, then managing with English was a difficult task. Okay. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है जर्नी के कुछ और भी पहलू रहे होंगे, शायद गायत्री यहाँ पर बता नहीं पा रही है. So, were you good at watching movies related to English, or what exactly, apart from reading the newspaper, you did? Because it's not easy. Trust me on this. People are preparing for a lot of time, but It's not easy for them to crack. If some two tips in and around English you can give to the students right now.
Sir, I would say rather than preparing for a particular exam, if you use English in your daily life and
Right.
actually like try to improve your vocabulary from within, that's when you are actually able to ace exams like this. But if you study just for the exam, I don't think you can suddenly improve. So like make reading a habit, interact in English, try to use better vocabulary, watch movies. That's an excuse to increase your
Yeah.
vocabulary. Yeah.
And I think fair point being made by Gayatri over here, because it's your subconscious brain that needs help over here, not the
Yes.
conscious one. And when you're doing all kind of stuff that मुझे बस अंग्रेजी से दोस्ती करनी है, you are befriending English, then that point of time, it's easy to deal with English rather than learning English the way you do mathematics or any other subject. That's the most important part, which she is reflecting to you guys. Who was your biggest motivator at that point of time, Gayatri? Because without motivation, things do not happen. And what helped you, achieve this big success for self?
Well, actually, it's someone very uncanny. It's my younger brother. He's
Oh,
in sixth standard. So he's someone who's like a quizzer. So he used to keep asking me random things. He used to like prepare interview questions for me. He's in sixth standard.
oh,
So he's
okay.
someone who really wanted this even more than I did.
All right. So, dreams come true when we see it, but someone who is seeing that particular dream along with us actually adds good vibrations to it. That's the point. Next question to you, Gayatri. Something which is very, very crucial. So, personality plays a very significant role in the IIM Indore part, because 35% weightage is being given to the interview segment. And I remember that we have worked together on that particular aspect since the beginning. And since you attended the classes to you cleared the examination, that journey was fantastic. It had some hurdles in between too, as I already discussed in the
I
beginning of this particular episode.
Yes, sir.
Throw some light on that part also.
So my current affairs was horrible. I still remember this one interview, the second interview where you said your GK is deteriorating. It was even worse than the first day. I
Did
still
I use
remember
that
that.
word? Okay. I do not
Yes,
remember that. Okay. It's deteriorating.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
So that's when it really hit me that there is a lot, there's a long way to go, and the interview was very close. It was just a week away from that particular interview. So
Okay.
you had given a few topics and a few things to actually learn about. So I went through that, and about the personality part, so definitely, especially in the IIM Indore interview, I feel more than actually checking your knowledge, they have checked the knowledge threshold in the exam. So I feel they want to check how you react in situations where you don't know the answer, how confident you are, how you can convince them. So I don't think anybody will be able to answer all the questions, how much ever you prepare. So I think it's about the attitude to show that you're sincere, you really want this and you'll
Fair
get it.
point. Fair point, Gayatri. And do you think we were a help over there? I mean, how did we help you in understanding that aspect of the interview part?
Sir, this is my first ever interview in my life was the a mock interview you had given. I have no trust with interviews. So that's when I understood like the smallest details. I still remember this one day and you like during the interview, you had said my background was very distracting. I was in another room. And the next day, Anil sir actually made me walk around my house and figure out a spot for the interview. So, like
Great.
those small details and my current affairs. So, it definitely helps, sir, the push
Okay.
super grad scale.
Great. One more important point over here, because Gayatri, it's something which is very, very crucial. Lot many students who are eyeing IIM Indore, and it's a dream today also. Like, you have achieved it, and definitely you have achieved it with your willpower, with your, lot of efforts, and definitely mentor support. Lot many students would be listening to you right now. Any two, you know, advices which two piece of advice which you can give from this particular forum or this particular dais to them right now?
Um, so, one mistake that I made in my preparation for exams was that I was not consistent. So, something that my motivation used to be in fits and spurts. Sometimes I would reach my targets, sometimes I wouldn't. So I would say the best thing is to keep yourself internally motivated. Somehow external things never work out. So keep that consistency and then your efforts will definitely pay off. That would be one. And the second one would be to have a clear goal. Every single day, make goals, make small goals, and break your big goals into small goals. That makes it more achievable. Otherwise, seeing the big syllabus and the far away exams, you tend to slow down and lose your motivation and you slack off. So these
Perhaps
are the
interconnected things. In the first part, A, she's saying consistency. If inconsistent, then you would feel that you're not going to make into it. That's something which is problematic from within, and when your inner voice is speaking against you at any point of time, then things go haphazard from that point of time only. First point. The second point which Gayatri is saying is also fantastic, and something which we all must look up to. Gayatri has made a very fair point over here that if you have small goals, then targets are not far. Then targets are immensely achievable. So achieve the goals, forget about the targets, and once you achieve them one by one, once you miss some of them, and finally you are not far from the target. You are going to definitely achieve them as well. Now, Gayatri, something related to the personality part, because I have especially put this particular question for you, not for others. There are some hurdles which teach us immensely. And I remember that hurdle which came just before 2 days of the IIM interview, that Kerala was facing many rains that point of time, network was going. So how did you come out of that particular phase? Because usually when we think that we are very near the victory, and victory, if something of that sort happens, then really it's a big problem for us. But I personally believe that exactly pushes you towards the victory part. So something if you want to say on that ground.
Yes, sir. So I think any goal we set, the path is never easy. Small things like rains, as well as big things like I've never experienced something like that, but they keep coming on your path. But if you really want something, you have to get it. Like, people won't look at excuses anymore. They'll just look at who actually made it. So I was just hoping it wouldn't rain and the network would be okay on the real day. And it actually happened. There was no rain. It was completely fine.
Okay, that's something great. And guys, I'm quite sure that you're going to learn a lot from Gayatri from this particular forum and dais, and it was a fantastic interview. But final food of thought from SuperGrads team that if you want to achieve something, just be immensely consistent, as Gayatri told, and really want it from your heart. And I think she really wanted to get inside IIM Indore from her heart. In fact, that was added by her brother also, and he also saw that particular dream, and together they are making it big. एक नारा बहुत चल रहा है आजकल, IPM मतलब
SuperGrads.
Okay, so IPM matlab SuperGrads is the final thought, that because majority of the students getting, so we have already had 23 plus selections in Rohtak, 11 selections in Indore, and more than 100 selections in together in all IPM programs till now, because बहुत सारी list आना भी बाकी है. With that particular thought, best of luck each and everyone who's going to give the exam in 23 or 24. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.